Happy holidays, everybody. It is Christmas Eve, and I'm actually at Walter's house again, and I have my children here with me. My wife and her daughter are on their way here. I'm going to cook up some rice, some pork fried rice for the family to eat, and that's what you see here in front of us. Actually, I think I'm going to use two things of meat because there's 5 of us, so I'll get another packet out. But this is the meat that we froze the other day, and as a viewer, an observant viewer stated, it probably would have been better to try to make them flat instead of bundling them up into like this, because it'll take longer to thaw out. But what I'm going to do is just take the meat and put it into this frying pan, because I don't have a wok, and turn the heat on like medium or low and cover it to thaw it out. And once it does that, then I'll go ahead and do the stir fry itself. So you see we've got our frozen veggies from last time when we cut it up. Some of you are saying that some of these things turn black. I don't really think so. I mean, they still look green to me. So, you know, same with like the eggplant. I think it looks fine. And even if it turned black, it's okay. It's still eggplant, right? So anyhow, I got it all here now. I'm going to be tossing it in there in a moment once everything thaws out. So let me go ahead and start the process. So the first thing I do is just basically turn on the stove. I'm going to be adding a little bit of oil. Ideally you use something like olive oil, but I don't have olive oil, so we're going to go with the canola oil. And I'm just going to pour a little bit in here, not too much, but enough to make the meat not stick, and also when I put the rice in there, so you know it'll cook up. So I'm just coating the pan here. I don't really have much there. I would say maybe, what, a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of canola oil. And I've got it on high heat right now, but I'm about to turn it down once I put the meat in here. And I just have my frozen meat that we had cut the other day. Got 1 chunk there, and I got another chunk. So this is a lot of meat. And the reason I got 2 whole servings here is because I'm making enough for 5 people, not just a couple, 2, 3, 4 people. I'm going to make it for 5 people, so that's pretty much it. And thawing it is a simple matter of putting the lid on it and turning the heat down. So I'm going to leave it on, I think medium should do. Just let it sit a little bit and heat up. And once it thaws out, I'll go ahead and add the flavoring, and we can start the actual cooking process. Okay, it's been a couple minutes, and you can see what I've done is I kind of stirred it up a little bit, so it is ready to fully cook now. So I'm going to be turning up the heat and adding the seasoning here, which is pretty much just going to be some chopped onions from Dollar Tree and some salt-free seasoning. And then we'll have the heat up, let the meat cook, add the frozen vegetables that we froze ourselves, and throw in the rice and soy sauce, and the meal's done. Alright, I've got the heat. I got to turn the heat on to high right here. So we get it on high now, and you can see it's starting to boil up. And all I'm going to do is just add the onions now. Get this open here. Hang on just a moment. So the pork is sizzling up really well now because the heat's on high. And it's getting ready to get all brown here, so I'm going to toss in the seasoning before it becomes... I know you should really season the meat before you cook it, but I'm kind of a lazy cook. I just throw things in whenever. It doesn't really matter to me what order. So, some onions, chopped onions, and a little bit more. How much? I don't know, I just sprinkle. And then some of the seasoning. Now normally I'd use Badia, but we've been using the salt-free seasoning, which seems to be okay. And we're going to be getting the salt from the soy sauce. It doesn't really matter, so. They got, looks like they got, on the seasoning, they have cornmeal, oat bran, onion, spices, garlic, carrots, orange peel, tomato, parsley, citric acid, and natural flavors. I hope natural flavors doesn't mean bugs or something. Oh boy. So we're just going to stir this up. It is on high heat right now because I'm trying to cook up the pork really fast. once the pork is done, we're just going to toss in the veggies and the rice. So it's not a hard to prepare meal, and you've seen me do this. You can make the same meal inside the van using the rice cooker. If you've watched previous Cooking with Denoy episodes, you saw me do that. I made like a similar meal. But I used like, I think I used fresh meat though, because, you know, in the van, I didn't really have access to the freezer and whatnot. But while I've been working in the night gig, I sometimes take a frozen packet of meat with me. Some of you were wondering why you didn't see it. I take it with me and I cook it in the van, but I didn't bother filming because of time issues. You know, I wanted to quickly make something to eat and just not worry too much about filming and whatnot, because it's usually done in the evening when I get off work and there's really not that much time due to the daylight issue. I just pop the food in there and cook it up. It's kind of hard to film in the van at night in the dark, and it's not that it's hard to film, it's that when I film and I have the light on like I do right now, I stand out. You know, I'm in a parking lot somewhere, and somebody will see me filming inside the van and call the police or whatever, and you got an issue you really don't want to have to deal with unless you have to. But the meat is essentially done at this point. It's only been a few minutes, and we're just going to add the frozen veggies. So I've taken out a packet of the frozen vegetables that I had prepared previously. It's got, looks like it's got the zucchini, different colored bell peppers, some onions, some eggplant, and some bok choy. I meant to put in the bean sprouts last time and I forgot. Or not the bean sprouts, but the beans. I know some people were saying that this stuff turns black, you know, putting green leafy stuff in there. I mean, I haven't really had too many issues with it turning black. I mean, it's not going to be as nice as like fresh, you know, but you can see the bok choy isn't black. It's still green until I start to cook it. But even regular bok choy, you know, it's green, and when you start to cook it, it changes color. But you can see the eggplant still looks like eggplant. It's not discolored or anything. So, but this is after it's been frozen for about a week and a half. So this video is approximately a week later, maybe a week and a half, a week later from when I originally made the frozen veggies. So you can see I got the little tiny wedges and whatnot that I had cut. Doesn't that look good? So it's frying right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on it and just let it seal and cook up a little bit more to thaw out the vegetables. And then I'm going to add some rice here in just a minute. So we'll go ahead and let it thaw out just a little. Seal it up, let it cook. I'm turn the heat down a little bit. Turn it on to medium. Just let that thaw. Okay, it's been only like a minute or so. I turned the heat down here, so it's on like medium right now, because I don't really want it on high. Although I think I'll go ahead and put it back on high, because I'm going to be adding some rice. So we'll just turn the heat back up to high. And stir all this green stuff here. But see, it is getting, you know, changing color a little bit, getting a little darker because it's cooking and getting, you know, wet and stuff. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and take some rice here, scoop it in. I won't be able to do it and hold the camera, so let me just go ahead and scoop it in and show you what I do next, which is just pretty much put the rice in there, put the soy sauce in there. Meal's done. It's just a matter of stirring everything and mixing it all up and serving it. Well, once that all thaws out, because it's still frozen. You might be wondering how I ended up with so much rice in there. It's because I actually had some leftover rice in a second pot. I made 2 rice thingies. I had like half of a little pot here and the full one there. So that's a lot of rice. And all that remains to be done now is just to pour the soy sauce across it, and then to mix it all up and let it heat up some. So I'm just going to pour soy sauce right on the rice like this. Now, how much soy sauce you use is up to you. The less soy sauce you use, of course the less salt you have, and also the lighter the color of the rice. More soy sauce means darker color. I'm adding quite a bit, but this is the low sodium soy sauce. And I think that's enough there. Now I'm just going to stir things up and mix it all up, and voila! Denoy's pork Thai fried rice, made using frozen meat and frozen vegetable packets that we prepared a week ago. So let me mix this all up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, the rice is pretty much done. As you can see, I've stirred it up. Now it's just a matter of serving it like this. Or if you're like me and you notice, hey, you got some leftover pad Thai stir-fry kit. By the way, this isn't the one from 3 or 4 weeks ago. I just bought this yesterday. Bought 2 packets, and I used one yesterday and had this left over because I used the sauce from it already. My son made some pad Thai noodles to eat, which was pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and use this. Just pour it in here. It is pad Thai veggies. And I'm just going to pour it in and stir it up. I got this on medium heat here, or a little bit less than medium heat. And I'm just going to mix it in there because I think it'll make the rice look prettier and taste a little bit crunchier. You know, it's always nice to have lots of different colors in your food. I think the more colors you can have, the more healthy the food is. So by adding this in here, we're going to make the food even more delicious tasting and more nutritious. Because these are pad Thai veggies, which is, it looks like they got broccoli. It's broccoli. Yeah, broccoli, carrots, and I don't know if it's lettuce. Let's read and see what they got. Now they got Brussels sprouts, kale, and bok choy. And I know I see broccoli in there and carrots, so kale and bok choy is in here. Look at that. Doesn't that look so pretty? So what will happen is I'm going to put the lid back on everything and let it kind of just, you know, steam it a little bit so the vegetables aren't so hard. So they'll be kind of cooked but not overly cooked. And that's the cool thing when you're making your own food. You can use leftover ingredients and or pick the ingredients that you like. In my case, it wasn't so much that I liked it as the fact that it was only $1.07. So you can see I've tossed this in here, and now it looks a lot prettier with all these colors and these fresh greens in there. You know, the carrots adding a little bit of orange, and the broccoli adding the greens, and it also add texture and crunchiness to the meal. I think it'll make it that much better. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on this and just let it stay warm a little bit, because the kids are like hovering around. They're really hungry right now, so they're gonna want to eat in a minute. But this is just what it looks like right now. Very fresh. I would say pretty nutritious. A lot of starch for most people, but I eat a lot of starch. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut up some cucumbers and lettuce and fresh tomatoes to be served with this. So rather than have salad, we kind of eat the salad on the side of the fried rice. Alright, got my son here helping to hold everything. You can see I've already pre-peeled the one of the cucumbers. I had half a cucumber left. And this is a cucumber, right? Yeah, it's a cucumber. So some of you are talking about washing it. I do wash it, but I don't bother to film myself washing it. Now, a lot of times it's okay to eat the skin, and it's actually usually better to eat the skin. But for today, I am going to go ahead and peel these because I think that, you know, I don't really like the way the skin looks. So I'm going to go ahead and peel it. Doesn't have to be perfect. A little bit left on it is okay. Picked up a peeler today at Dollar Tree, and wow, look how nice this works. You can get nice smooth strips, and that way we don't have to worry about the pesticides that are on here. Although I have washed it, so it should be alright. But what I'm doing is I'm cutting up some cucumbers, and I'll also be cutting up some tomatoes and some lettuce, I think. So that's a lot of greens in this meal, which is good, you know, because I do need to eat more greens. And as you guys who have been following me know, I've been trying to eat better. And the reason is just because I'm on a quest to lose about 15 pounds or so, 10-15 pounds. that's what the plan is. So right now we're just going to go ahead and prepare the cucumber slices to be eaten. I went ahead and did them all because we're going to eat it either now for this meal or later for tonight. So whatever people don't eat, I will go ahead and wrap up, you know, in aluminum foil and leave in the refrigerator, so we'll have it for later today. But once you cut stuff like this, it really should be eaten within that day, and hopefully right away within the next couple of hours, because fresh veggies that you cut open like this tend to discolor and not be so good. They're not as good after they've been sitting around for a while. So I'm just cutting it and arranging it in a pattern around here. And those of you who are chefs or cooks and stuff know that I'm doing all sorts of stuff wrong. But it's okay. I guess if anything, this channel will show you don't have to be a chef to make halfway decent meals to feed yourself and or your family and friends. You know, there's no right or wrong way to do it. I know some people say I use the wrong knives for certain things because I've been using like meat knife for cutting veggies and whatnot. To me, you know, it doesn't really matter what the knife is designed for, although if it was designed for meat, it is obviously going to work very well for meat. But if it works fine cutting veggies with it, I have no problems with using it. I tend to use a knife based on how I like using them, you know, how they fit in my hands and how they feel. So I like this size, which is a steak knife. This is a steak knife, and I'm using it for veggies. But some of you had a question about the, let me keep the camera there next to it. Some people had questions about the Hessler knife that I used the other day. This knife right here. This is actually, even though it's got a serrated tip on it, it's designed for meat, bread, or vegetables. And how do I know? I'm the knife demonstrator for this. So just so you're aware, this particular one is designed for bread. It's also designed for meat and vegetables. But for the most part, my favorite knife is usually, like, you'll see me grab this steak knife. This is actually from, I think, Chicago Cuttery. But I just grab whatever knife is available. I'm going to go ahead and rinse another tomato right now. And just go ahead and cut out the tomato. I don't like the tips so much, you know, this part, so I'll cut that out. But once again, I'm just going to make little tiny slices of tomato. Just circular slices because my son likes them, I like them. And what we're planning on doing is just like, you just grab a slice, you know, the slices you like, and you eat it with the fried rice. So it's a good way to get really nice, fresh greens and colored vegetables into your diet. And tomatoes and cucumbers are mostly water. So it's a way to easily get filled up. You know, if you're trying to lose weight, this is the way to go. Eat a lot of vegetables and fruits that are like this, that are full of water. Look at the tomato. I mean, it's water. Most of this is water. So same with the cucumber. So if you eat a lot of this, you're going to lose weight. And you're still going to feel full because this food is pretty filling. Now all that remains to be done is I just need to cut up some lettuce, which I'm not going to bother to show you guys, but you'll see it on the final serving. And the food's ready to be served, so let's go ahead and prepare that. Alrighty, here we have the finished product. Doesn't that look delicious looking? This is the pork fried rice right here with all our nice greens that we have thrown in there, the vegetables. My kids have actually started already munching because they were starving. So this is what you can eat on the side. We've got the sliced cucumbers, sliced tomatoes, some, I guess this is called string bean, fresh. I meant to freeze that and put it into our frozen veggie packets, but I forgot to, but they're still fresh even though it's been about 5-6 days. And some of our lettuce, which isn't as fresh, but it's still green. So when it's a little brown like that, it's still okay. That's just oxygen hitting the edges and it kind of browns it. It just doesn't look attractive. I do have some new fresh pepper sauce that I made about a day or two ago, but you can see it's kind of old. It's recycled. But it's okay. It still tastes great, and that's the good thing about this stuff. You can eat leftovers by cooking your own meals. You can save a lot of money. Save stuff like your pepper sauce to reuse again. And you can put essentially anything that you like into the food that you like to eat. And, you know, if you like brown rice, you could substitute with brown rice. There's no hard and fast rules about what you have to put into the food to make it taste good. You just put in there what you like. I put everything in there that I had on hand, plus stuff that I bought on sale. So let's do a taste test. I'm going to go ahead and add a little pepper. I don't know if you see how I did that. I scooped up a little bit of pepper and a little bit of sauce. And here in this first bite, I'm gonna have the meat and the eggplant and the pepper. And here we go. Oh, tastes like heaven. Wow, this is really good. So, until next time, everybody, I hope you guys are eating well. I know you're going to be watching this after the holidays, but I wanted you guys to know that this is Christmas Eve. And the children and I wish you and your family a safe and happy holiday. And wanted you guys to know that we're in, we have you guys in our thoughts and prayers. And for those of you who are in the colder environments, I do feel for you and hope that it warms up soon. I hope you're bundling up and staying safe and warm. Take care. God bless you all. Have a happy holiday.